Oh, baby. We are live again. We are back. Rich Maliki, maybe you know me, maybe you don't, but I appreciate you being here. I got the fire going again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new series. I'm fired up, and I'm trying not to talk too loud into the mic. I got in trouble last time. Lisa yelled at me. So I hope the audio is better. So I'm fired up. What am I fired up about today? I'm trying to bring you some real energy systems, processes, site surveys, and nasty ass people. That's what I'm fired up about. What am I talking about? We're going to dive into a couple of these things. I would love if you wanted to jump in on the comments. I know Lisa is going to be watching those. John, what up, brother? Hope you're doing well during these crazy times. But there's good news. Before I get into this, good news in Jersey. For those of you who may or may not be watching, the governor has lifted the 25% indoor capacity dining to 35%, effective tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., along with the 10 p.m. curfew, or not curfew, but 10 p.m. restriction of being having to close. So you still can't congregate at the bar. You still can't, stay at the bar. But listen, this means that restaurants can stay open until 11, midnight, whatever, depending on what they're doing. And that's going to increase their revenue. Obviously, they're going to see more volume. They're going to see more people coming out to eat, I think. So, and you get to add that additional 10%. I know it doesn't sound like much, but you know what? Those additional tables matter. That could mean thousands of dollars in additional revenue every month. So super excited to see that we're making some strides in maybe pushing the needle to opening back up 50%, 60%, and by summer, hopefully 100. But hey, just in time for Super Bowl weekend.
We got some comments here. People are excited. This is a good time.
Woo, baby. What do we got?
We got Jesus says people are people. Well,
people are people.
From the UK, from John.
Yes, my man John.
Up, snowing in Chicago. Good afternoon.
Hey, what's up, Mike?
That's good news.
Yes, my people. I love my people. John, UK, Mike Cinto over at Total Food. By the way, go to totalfood.com. We have a little Fed article that's going to be going down every month. February issue, we're kicking it off. So go to totalfood.com, subscribe to what they got going on over there so you never miss a little Fed corner action. Fed. All right, so yeah. Oh, by the way, we're talking about Super Bowl real quick. Lisa, I don't know. I know you're not a big sports person, but let's just throw it out there from someone who's not a sports person. If you're going to be betting on this game, someone that doesn't really know much, Tampa Bay, Tom Brady, Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes, who would you pick?
I don't know.
So what you want to do is you want to bet on I don't know and see who wins.
I don't know. I chose the Buccaneers. That's what I chose.
Hey, listen.
They seem like the underdog.
They are the underdog, even though they have the GOAT in. Yes, I'm a Giants fan, but nevertheless, Tom Brady is the man. I'm going to say I don't know. It's tough. I'm going to say the Kansas City Chiefs are probably going to pull it out. They're just too tough, but we'll see what happens. Excited to watch the game. Samantha Hernandez, that's my sister. What's up, my sister? So she's here in the room with us. We're fired up today. We're fired up. Systems, processes, site survey. I'm going to tackle this first. Okay, listen. We're a service company here in New Jersey. To my food equipment service fam, systems and processes are super important in our daily with everything we're trying to accomplish. And listen, that's probably not just our service side. It's any business. You need systems and processes, right? So we are growing, and with that is going to come some pains, and we're trying to put better systems and processes in place as we do so. We had some things going on here this week with site survey stuff. And I talk about site surveys a lot. If you know me and you're watching my stuff, site surveys is a big topic of conversation for me, because when you're doing installs, it can get you into so much trouble when you're not crossing your T's and dotting your I's. And we're not perfect. I'm flat out going to tell you, we make mistakes. And, I think today is the time where we have to kind of own a little bit about what happened. And site survey forms, to the technicians out there, to our guys, to the techs out there watching, these site survey forms might as well be a legal document. They have to be filled out perfectly. When we're talking about drain lines and electrical and water incoming, that when it needs, we need to have cold water lines and not hot water lines. And all these little things the technician goes to do on these site surveys, the boxes need to be checked. But then there's this last piece where it says notes and comments on most of these site survey forms for any manufacturer. This is where I'll say the rubber meets the road. This is where all that matters, because all the other stuff before that is so technical. You're going to hand that to a restaurateur, a manager, and they're going to go, oh, okay. They don't even know what they're going to sign. We have to be very descriptive in the sense of, okay, guys, listen, your electrical is 115, needs to be 208. Boom. Now you know you need to get an electrician and get that changed. We're not electricians by trade. I can't go into your wall. I can't do that. You have to get your electrician to do that. That's number one. Number two, you have your drain. So in this instance today, I believe, and I'm not 100%, but I do believe that the drain line was huge, that we were going to be dumping in 5 gallons of water per minute down into this little opening. Oh, we're going to put a funnel there. Well, no, this is not going to hold. So these things need to be done on the site survey. We need to make sure that this is all being communicated to. And anybody out there watching right now, if you want to jump in, anything I'm missing, please let me know in the comments right now. And then we have to get the signature. We have to make sure it's explained properly. Now that goes off to the powers that be, whether it's the rep, the factory, and everyone involved. This is us crossing our T's, dotting our I's. And, this will slow down the process. Okay. And Lisa's probably saying, what the hell are you talking about? But this is what slows down. This is what will slow down the process for the equipment install. Now we get to go back, and the rep can step in and help and say, hey, listen, this is what you need to be done. Now, one of the questions from my service team is like, well, what happens when that gets kicked back and the customer's told all that, and we go to site and it's still not ready? Okay, this happens all the time. Well, now it's on the customer. Okay, we did what we had to do. The rep stepped in. Perhaps the dealer stepped in. Perhaps the manufacturer stepped in after we send all this information. The equipment doesn't get shipped. And they're discussing, okay, this is what needs to be done. Now the customer calls and says, hey, we fixed everything. Great. Well, what we have now put in place is I now have a form that we're getting ready. We just sent our first one out. And this basically states that you have checked off all the boxes. I did this, I did this, I did this. You're going to give me a signature, and you're also going to give me your credit card information. And you're saying, why do I got to have a credit card? I just spent money on this. Because the truth of the matter is, if we do get there and things are not right after this process has been done properly, there's going to be a charge, because I just sent out 3 technicians. I rolled a truck. I rolled probably another van. These guys are standing around for an hour, hour and a half. You got a $500 bill coming for my time. I have to account for that. I can't let that go. Imagine I do that 50 times for this manufacturer, 70 times for this one, 30 for this one. We're talking thousands and thousands of lost revenue I can never recoup. You got something?
Yes. So, Jonathan, Rich, you're the Gary Vaynerchuk of the food equipment repair industry. Wow.
Thanks, John.
We also got Clinton Webb. He says things like the doors to the building wide enough to get the equipment through.
That's always a problem. And that's a key thing that is on the site survey form that we're talking about. I'm not going to mention any manufacturers' names or anything, what we're doing, but that's on the site survey form. What's the dimensions of the door versus the dimensions of the unit versus the one that's got to come out? All this has to be documented and brought to the attention. What else we got?
John also says site surveys are so important. It saves everybody's time.
Yeah. And that's the truth. And I'm kind of talking about, this is where site surveys go wrong. And I put it all on me. So, and when you're in the leadership role, you have to put it all on you. Now, am I going to go to my service manager? Am I going to get fired up? Am I going to get fired up talking about this? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, I want her to know I do have her back. We just want to make this right. And this is a communication thing. We have to make sure our technicians are doing what they're supposed to do in the field, and we can't move on to the next thing until this one is checked off on. So it's really going to come down to accountability and communication and making that process better. Because at the end of the day, when you look at it, it's not that hard. We go in, we assess it, we get all the information, dimensions on doors, about electrical, water, where are we going to put the water filter? And even in this instance, the water filter, the space was so tight. Where were we going to put it? So these things were being discussed. We have to find out everything. And again, back to us, we own it. If we didn't get all that stuff on that site survey and get a customer signature and send it off to the rep, dealer, manufacturer, or whoever the parties may be, shame on us. And I'll take the heat for that one every time. But when we are when we are firing off on all cylinders and making it right, and we get to the customer site, they have to understand that. I think there's a misperception that the customer doesn't have a responsibility in a lot of this. And unfortunately, I know you're spending a lot of money on equipment, and there's a process, and there's an install, and you just want to get that thing in there and start making food and serving your customers and making money. I know that. I get that. That excites me. You're making money. That means I'm making money. This is how this works. I want you in business. I want you working. And when these things get slowed down, it gets tough, and this shit fires me up. I can't help it, because I want it all to be done right, and I want everyone to be in the know and understand all these things, and understanding that we are not always right and we are not always perfect. And I'm going to make sure that we own it here in our market in New Jersey every single time. But the conversations need to be had. Customers have responsibility. If you have to upgrade your electric and drains and water, and you need plumbers, and sometimes you need construction. I mean, you might have to have a carpenter or a welder come in to take a counter out and doors off the jams and open up some sheetrock. I mean, there's responsibility way past what we do. So a lot of that stuff needs to be discussed too. And as the authorized service center going in, we have a lot of responsibility communicating this to the customer and everybody else involved. So I want to make it be known. I fight and I talk about this sometimes with a time and all this stuff, but if we're shooting ourselves in the foot, then we got to be responsible for it. And sometimes that means we have to eat time, and that costs us dollars, but you know what? Shame on us. Now we're going to get better for the next time.
Our fire went out.
My fire's out.
Oh, a new one.
Good. There's even more fire here. I need it.
You needed more fire. Quentin says, when possible, I try to have the manufacturer's rep on site when I do a survey. Not always possible.
It's not. Yeah. Quentin, on point. I want to give a shout out to Tri-State Marketing, some reps over here we work with. And I want to give a shout out to John Rodriguez, who really is all about making all parties feel good and making everybody of the understanding that there's money invested, there's time invested, there's a lot of things that are going on here, and so I do want to give a shout out to them. We actually got to go to a site, and when bringing me in on the initial, it did make things a lot better. We didn't release the equipment. Things are that job went. I mean, listen, it was drawn out. I don't know if John is ever going to see this, but that was drawn out for months, trying to let them understand what they need to get done. But you know what? It did make things a little bit better. And I think the customer has a really good taste in their mouth if they're going to buy that second unit. Sales sells the first, service sells the second and third. I think they're real happy with the process. So
Josh in here.
Josh Zolan, this is my brother from another mother out here.
Utilizing the technologies that exist today, like XOI, can eliminate a lot of the miscommunication between customers, manufacturers, etc., with regard to site surveys. Such an important conversation, Rich. Thanks for having it.
My man Josh. So guess what? Mentioning XOI. So we just started implementing and using this. Josh knows that. Shout out to Aaron and the XOI team, JP. They do a wonderful job. I will tell you, they're just very on point, and they're very communicative. So and that's a testament to JP, who really has been onboarding us. So, but XOI was very important today, because I will go back into this little thing that happened today with one of these site surveys. We have video and picture of this job through XOI that created a hyperlink, goes on our invoice. We could send it to anybody. They could all see it. And the customer was complaining that, oh, the plumber was there and this person was here and we have video documentation. My tech took the time to walk around the entire facility, show the outside of how hard it was to get close to park because things were roped off and there's snow and all these things. So there was time invested there, showing there was no plumbers on site. The drain wasn't where it was supposed to be. The water line was still popping out, and it was red, kind of indicating that it was going to be hot water. We have all this stuff indicated on video. So when the customer called angrily, which is the next thing I'm going to be fired up about, nasty people. Hey, listen, it's cost of doing business, but that don't mean I can't be fired up about it.
Before we get to the next fired up, just wanted to shout out Greg Crumpton. He says, Josh one-ups me again, but his original comment to me was nice work, Rich. Communication at every level wins.
Yes. 1,000%. Communication is everything. Just onboarded a new employee here, RJ. When we sat down in the orientation, I'll call it, or the boringtation. Hopefully, I wasn't boring, but the orientation, talking about everything that revolves around this company, around this business, around the office, internally, externally. It's all about communication. And I always say, Malachi cares, right? That's the tagline that we have here. And when people say, what does care mean to you? Care equals communication. We have to communicate. That's the biggest piece of the puzzle. But going back to the XOI, it's an amazing tool. And now I have this to pass on. And this is going on every ticket, on every invoice. That link is being shared to every single customer. What that does is really a couple of things. First of all, it's CYA, right? Cover your ass. We get to cover our asses with everything we're doing. It builds trust and transparency because the customer is seeing that the job they're actually doing, the technicians are taking the time to explain a lot of these things. And at the end of the day, that's what I really want to do. I want to be able to build that trust and transparency because that's going to create more sales. I mean, listen, we're in business. We're here to make profit. It's going to create more sales. The customer's going to get to see a video of perhaps, let's just say a steamer has a little crack in it and there's water pouring out of it. Well, you don't show that video. That customer doesn't see it. Maybe it's not as real to them. So it might take them 2 weeks to sign off on something. They see that. They're like, oh my God, I got to get this done now. So there's a lot of benefit to bringing this transparent type of video to your customer base. XOI, shout out to you guys.
We got Taz.
Oh my, that's my guy right here. Nasty people suck. They do. So that's what I'm fired up about right here. This fire is all about these nasty people. And listen, we have an office here full of people that care, and they really take a lot of stuff to heart. And I know you say it's business. Don't take it personal. Well, newsflash. If you call Malachi Parts and Service, we take everything personal. Okay? I take everything personal. I'm sorry. And I don't want to get defensive on the phone with people or any of that stuff, but I will defend my company until the day I die. I will defend the people, and I will take everything to heart. So, and unfortunately, I have people up there, or fortunately maybe, that feel the same way. And sometimes, so we have an office full of strong women up there. Geraldine is running service. Janine's in operations. Samantha, VP. So we have Lisa here now, media manager. We're surrounded by women here. Okay. And sometimes you get on the phone and I have to call out these guys because it's usually men. It just happened this week again. This is a crazy fired up week. It just happened this week where Geraldine is on the phone. And I know we're on LinkedIn and some of these places we can't curse, so I will not say the word. But basically he said, F you, you're a liar. Saying that our technician didn't show, or we were there on time. We waited for 15, 20 minutes. We have to keep guys moving. We sell time. There's two pieces to this business. I sell time and I sell a part when I can. That's it. I have to keep it moving. So he called up very angry because he got there, an hour late. We were trying, by the way, we also called twice and left 2 voicemails. No one was answering. F you weren't here, you liar, all these different things. I have cameras. Well, we said we implore you to check the cameras and we'll also send you our GPS reports. But the nasty, and she's like, I don't understand why people are so nasty. I'm just trying to help. And you know what? This is not about complaining. All right. The real world, I got my big boy pants on. Trust me, she's got her big girl pants on. It's just that when you try to help people so much every single day and you're trying to do the right thing and keep everyone happy, which is impossible, but just keep things happening. It's just, sometimes it takes a blow. So for the people out there, I really want to talk about this because for the people out there that are dealing with these nasty people and angry people, I think we have to understand that, realize where it might be coming from. And that's what I always try to tell everybody here. Realize where it might be coming from. Listen, we live in, go back, just look at the world we live in, Lisa. Pandemic. All right. People are struggling to begin with. Okay. And there's not an excuse, but it is what it is. Businesses are hurting. Restaurants we know are hurting. When you call up to a company like mine, I joke about this the other day. No one calls up and says, "Hey, Rich, yeah, I got my $20,000 steamer not working, man. My $20,000 steamer's working. Everything's great." No one calls and does that. They're calling because they got a problem. And Safessa used to have an article, and I don't know if it's still around. If anybody knows, if it's around, let me know. Maybe link me, tag me. Trouble is our business was the title, and it's just so true. We are in the trouble business. We're in the problem solving business. So problems are coming here. So understand where this anger and nastiness might be coming from. Maybe their fryer's down, their oven's down, they're 86 in this, they can't do this, they can't do that. And understand, you know what, maybe it wasn't on us. They didn't show up. We're going to get someone back there. And that's what we tried to, communicate to him. Sir, are you there now? Okay, great. When the technician finishes up, we're going to swing him back around. But he just had to get an FU in there, and you're a liar, and all these, come on. There's really no need for that. But again, trying to explain to my team, understand where these things are coming from. By the way, he apologized.
Good.
So I think sometimes we get out of control, we fly off the handle and things happen, but we need to and I just did a post about this. If you can control your emotions, your world changes. You really need to be able to be in sync with yourself and control the emotions and the little things. Like my father used to say, any decisions, especially big ones, you got to sleep on it, kid. You can't make emotional decisions. You got to sleep on it. Wake up and see how you feel when it comes to this. And it's just true. We have to reel it in sometimes. Take in the information. Don't fly off the handle. And, listen, nasty people aren't going anywhere anytime soon. This is the world. We have to put on our big boy pants. We have to put on our big girl pants. And we have to go out there anyway.
I'm just going to have to show Samantha's comment here because it is true.
It is true. It's true. It's very true. Yeah.
And then the other comments that we got while we were fired up.
I'm fired up.
It was funny when I ran our company Airtight, we too were women-centric. It works.
That's right. My man.
Nasty people are deflecting their own failures upon others, pity their anger, and move forward. That's been my experience, and some people are just born a-holes too.
That's just true. Me and Quentin are always in agreement. So I don't know. We come from like the same like core place. I don't know. I can't wait till this world opens up. Quentin, we have to figure out how to get maybe I'll do something through Fed. We have to get like a Fed meetup. Outside of the Fed conference, I'm going to be looking to put on different events. We're going to have to get some kind of meetups going where we could all get together and have some fun.
Because he says you got to put on a kilt if you have
to. Listen, I'm not Scottish, but I got some Irish roots, man. My last name is actually Farrell, but we'll save that for another day because so many people are always confused. Malachi, Farrell, I don't know. But yeah, I got my Irish roots. So listen, fired up. I'm fired up. I got so many things I'm fired up on. Lisa's giving me the hook. She said that's enough. I've spoken enough. I love being on live with you guys. I just get excited for it all. I hope you enjoyed this. We're going to keep rolling. I'm going to do these as many times a week as I can. The next one, I did post about it, but I do want to mention this one before I go.
Okay.
I'm fired up about manufacturer and service partnerships and what they should look like in 2021. From both perspectives. So if you're on the service side, if you're on the manufacturer side, I want you on this live and get fired up with me to start talking about these things. And let's see if we can't invoke some change. Because I'm sure there's some things you're from a manufacturer side, you're going to say, well, you guys need to do this. And I'll say, you're damn right we do. And then this from our side, say, well, listen, we really think that this should be. And usually and mutually, you know what? You're right. We got to find this common ground in 2021 and beyond. Is there something else going on?
No. That's it. Let's see. Good stuff, dude.
My man, Greg, I appreciate you, brother. I enjoy being on your podcast. Go check out Straight Outta Crumpton. You can check him out. He's got a great podcast going. I'm always promoting my people. And don't forget to text me. Join my text community, 201-485-5159. Be in the know on everything that's going down in Fed and other things. And we could also just connect. So I'm fired up. That's it. I'll see you on the next one. Have a beautiful Thursday.